I can start, right?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञं स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत् हरि ओम्
Just give me 2 minutes, Aarti, to share. I can maybe give a background.
So we are still in the Govardhana Stuti. Govardhana, sorry, Gajendra Stuti. Gajendra seems to be an exalted soul already with so much knowledge. Just like how, and in case of Prahalada, here it was, the Stuti was on the formless Brahman. In fact, how he is beyond gunas, how he is the all-knowing, the immeasurable, all of those. The only cure for avidya is to have the knowledge of the truth. Ignorance can only be destroyed through truth, through knowledge. Darkness can only be destroyed through light. You cannot remove darkness by handling the darkness. You can keep pouring the darkness out, the darkness will never be over. The moment you switch on the light, the darkness will automatically go. Similarly, if we are struggling, if there is a suffering that we are having in our lives, we had seen many examples previously that about that honey dripping when snakes are there, the rat is biting the branch, a man is hanging, and there is fire, all dangers around, but the man's tongue is sticking out for that little honey drop that he wants to get. Like that, we are all, and we don't realize that our suffering is because we are trying to handle the suffering by being in the suffering only. All we need to do is turn around. We are in that ignorance, that lower self. Being in the lower self, we want others to change. We want the situation to change. We want everything to change. We want to be in the darkness and come out of the darkness. What we are not doing is we are not turning the light on. And hence we constantly feel like there is darkness, there is darkness, there is darkness. All we need to do is turn on the light. So our darkness, our suffering is because we are in our lower self, in our intellect, and analyzing things, trying to be, is this right? Is that is that right? What is dharma? What is adharma? He is dharma. He is doing adharma. I am in dharma. This is all that is going on. And what Krishna says is, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. You have to surrender to me. So surrender to me is turning 180 degrees, not trying to control the situation, but turning away and knowing that the control switch is in Krishna's hand. I just have to turn to him and the darkness will, and immediately like magic, the darkness will be removed. Yes, Bhargavi ji.
Ji, could you please explain me the story that honey snake and the man looking for the honey? What is the?
There is a picture. Maybe we
Okay.
will share it if we can get it. I don't know if we can.
No, I have heard it from you only many times, but I have not understood what exactly it is.
I will. Maybe you can continue reading. I'll see if I can get that picture.
It's in
Okay.
Srimad Bhagavatam only. Look for it in the internet.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what. Hmm.
What is the significance of that?
Your voice is breaking, Bhargavi ji.
Significance of that situation.
So I got the picture.
Hmm.
What I'll do is,
I'll stop
I don't know if I
sharing.
can share it. So I will post it in the WhatsApp group.
Oh, you can't share now? You can share. I have stopped sharing.
Oh,
I should make you co-host.
no, in YouTube, that should not be a problem. No, it will not have any copyright issues there. No,
Picture should be okay.
picture should be okay. I will show.
Make you co-host. I have
Yeah, do that.
Yes.
No, I'm not able to still.
Yeah. You'll be able to now. Just check.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So can you see this?
Yeah. Yes.
This man, God is constantly extending his hand. Okay, he's constantly there extending his hand. There is an elephant which is rocking the tree. There are serpents down. He is hanging on a branch which is being gnawed away by rats here. And the rat is, there is a black rat and a white rat. This is day and night, which is Kala. Time is gnawing at it and it is going away. And this is death. If this gnaws away, then when he falls, he will fall into death. Okay, all this is happening. And then there are other dangers that are constantly coming and rocking the life. And God is extending his hand saying, please hold my hand. I will take you through. But in all of this danger, he's not realizing. He's just looking at this one honeycomb up here. Can you see? And from that, some honey is dripping and his tongue is sticking out, trying to enjoy that samsara in all of this without realizing that time is ticking away. And, to his death, God is extending his hands, totally unconscious of everything. And trying to find a little pleasure in everything.
Yeah, the bees are also stinging him.
The bees are also stinging.
That's how the pleasure is. We think it is pleasure, but actually it's pain.
That is beautiful. No, it is actually pain, but we start seeking the pleasure in the pain because it becomes our comfort zone. Was that clear, Bhargaviji, that picture?
Yes, Aarti.
Yeah. So that is how we are. We are still seeking a lot of pleasure. We have expectations from the world. We have expectations from our own selves, the lower selves. And all of these cause are the reason. And we forget to see the divine's play in everything and in ourselves also, which is our avidya. So
Man is not
beings who
ready to.
surrender themselves entirely to you are sure to be cured of their ignorance, their avidya, and will be made to have a vision of the truth that is you. Hold Krishna's hand. That's all. You were saying something, Bala, sorry.
Yeah. No, same thing. That picture, he is not ready to leave his hand.
Hmm.
We are also, we say there is faith and all, but when it comes to, some situation in life, we still think that there is something that I need to do. No, we don't leave our hand and completely, arpana, offer the entire thing to him and say, okay, it is yours, you drive. That is surrender. That is very important. So he's not ready to. So they say the one who is ready to just let go my doership, he is the real dhira. In somewhere we saw in Bhagavatam, in some, I don't remember the chapter, we saw that the real dhira, who is the one who, is courageous, is the one who is ready to let go the individuality, my doership, and know that truth. It is one truth in whose presence, by whose will, everything is happening. Just let go and see. He will hold us. Very beautifully, Ramana Bhagavan says, there is nothing to realize. Self is already there. What is self-realization? When someone asks, he says, there's nothing to realize. Self means here Bhagavan. Yeah. So, he's the one truth which is ever there. All that we need to do is let go of all that I am holding on to. That is why even the very first mantra of Ishavasya, it says, Ishavasya midam, everything is Isha only. It is all Bhagavan. So, Madrita Kasya Svidhanam. Why it has to come there is because that Asteya, we have to let go of whatever I am possessing. Whatever I am possessing in my mind, my thoughts, possessing does not mean only, the outer objects. That is the first thing that we get. But actually, it has got nothing to do with the outer object. It is the thought that it is mine that has to be given up. Only when we get, so leaving the hand, someone is, when we let go that is when Bhagavan's hands are also even visible for us. Until then, it is my own clutter where, it need not even be clutter, even a very small thought of mine, doership, kartritva bhava, they say, right? As long as that is there, then that grace is not there. So we need to leave that hand. Then we will see the truth. That is a courage. That is strength. That is dhira. He is the true courageous one. Says Bhagavatam somewhere. I am unable to recollect. Am I not audible enough? Nothing?
Fine, Bala.
Okay. Yeah.
So, all we have to be, we just have to be. We have to learn. We overdo. All our suffering is because we overthink. Thinking itself may not be the problem, but we overthink. Our problem is, if we just try to sit and observe whatever is happening in the home, in our house, and tell myself for 1 hour, I'm not going to act at all. 1 hour, I'm just going to sit and just observe everything that is happening around me. Immediately, we will know how much we want to control situations. How I'm just not able to sit for an hour, how difficult it is at least. I may be able to if I try. But we will understand ourselves better. How much we lack surrender and how much we want to control situations. How we want to take situations in our control, how we have to say something, how we have to do something at all point in time. If we can just learn to be aware and just be, everything around is happening as it is supposed to happen. Everything around is flowing the way it is supposed to go. I think it is because of my doing that everything is happening. If I don't do, if I don't tell, what will happen? If I don't say, what will happen? No, you see, realization will dawn somehow in time. Because when I become aware, that is my moment of surrender. When I don't act, I am really holding back from taking control of the situation. If I can just observe and be, that is my surrender. Because you need a lot of faith. Faith will come eventually. When we can just be and we observe, and after a while you see, oh, things are happening. It's not only because I am doing. That will increase the faith in this surrender.
In fact, after a while, we will get to realize that 90% of where I have intruded, it has only caused more disturbance.
Exactly.
So maybe somewhere 10%, some functional thing would have been necessary, but 90 or even 95 or even 99, many, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
So,
doing is not the problem, overdoing is the problem. Thinking is not the problem, overthinking is the problem. Emotion is not the problem, over emotions is the problem.
That's why Krishna says, no, yukta ahara, everything in moderation. Yukta ahara viharasya. Vihara here, we can take it as, how we are engaging our mind in, isn't it? So that also, yukta, how much is necessary. So that is why we have all these vrata, all that helps us in disciplining our senses, our vak. Mind mauna happens later. We can't do anything about it. But this expression, the more and more when we are able to observe, be an observer and not express too much, we will realize we can actually conserve a lot of energy also. And
yeah, actually.
We know how much of, in fact, a week ago or 2 weeks back, when my throat was not all right. So nature forced me to not talk too much. So I realized how much of energy goes in just, talking. It was a real first-hand experience. Because to even talk at one point in time, energy was not there. And then we realized, so much prana is necessary in talking. So if we observe and if we are able to curtail ourselves from not talking unnecessarily, then a lot of samatva, yes, so self shines forth. There is no need to do anything. Yes.
Continue, Bala.
This birth of mine, which is full of avidya inside as well as outside, this elephant's form and mind is of no use to me. I have no desire to live anymore. I want that moksha which will not be destroyed by the passage of time. This is a very important. Our body, mind, intellect, everything is wiped out by passage of time, isn't it? That's why whenever we are holding on to any of these, that means we are in the grip of death. Death is not just that thing when the body falls, physical body falls. Death is every moment I hold on to anything at the body, at the mind, at the intellect, whatever, in that level, that is mrityu. Because that identity will go after some time. So that is also, but what is here, this moksha that Gajendra is seeking is that immortality where that in Omkara, many times Aarti has shared that, right? That bindu, that turiya, which is seeing all the, slots of time, we can say, the three states, the waking, the dreaming, and the deep sleep state. All the three state, one truth pervades all the three state. So that is that moksha that it is the turiya, the fourth, they say, right? So that is what is referred to here, which is not destroyed by passage of time. Or in simple terms, Bhagwan, that Atman, the one which, that existence which is pervading everything, which is not bound by time, which was ever present, which is here now. Yes, that is what is moksha, which will not be destroyed by the passage of time, says Gajendra. You want to add, Aarti? We'll continue. Punya, which is acquired, is rewarded by a length of time in heaven. When that punya gets exhausted, man is again thrown back to the world of sin. I want a moksha different from this. Release. Moksha means a release, we can say. I want to be cured of avidya. I am a mumukshu and I salute you, who is the cause of this universe, who pervades everything, and yet who is apart from all that you have created, who are the ultimate truth. So who pervades everything, yet apart. So the best example that always, scriptures, Vedanta go for this is something that we can perceive is the Akasha. Akasha pervades, but it is not touched by anything, right? It is apart. The space, it contains everything, but it is not tainted by Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi, right? So that is the subtlest, which in the mind level, that the mind can perceive. So that is usually the example given. So that pervades everything. So Bhagavan is even subtler than that, right? So who pervades everything and yet who is apart from all that you have created? You who are the ultimate truth, ever present, ever shining forth. Yogis see you in their hearts, since their karmas and the result of their karmas have all been burnt in the flame of self-knowledge. The greatness that is you is hidden from foolish beings like me, because our thinking power is clouded by the sense of I and mine. So Bhagavatam comes back to these two always, right? These are the only two. This avarana. Nothing, no other screen. It's not like some goddess is holding. This I, mine is avarana. That's all. I surrender myself to that infinite power, truth, light, that is you.
So an interesting point here I found. This is the punya which is acquired is also rewarded by a length of time in heaven. Many people would say, no, I just want to be kind. I see something, I want to do a kind act. Why should I have actually personally heard this from many people, especially when I say, there's the Sanatana Gurukulam classes that we conduct with, scriptures. Right? No, I just believe in being a good person, doing what is right, what is good. I don't understand why we have to study these scriptures and all of these things, is the kind of response that get. So here, punya which is acquired is rewarded by a length of time in heaven. But that punya is also short-lived. So that punya is a good act done from the sense of I and mine. As simple as that. From the sense of I and mine, when that act is performed. I have been giving I give so much donation, or I go around doing these things. when we take that sense of ownership, right? When we take that sense of ownership, that I am doing something, that becomes a punya, even if it is for a good act. When I associate it somehow with myself as though I am doing, but in this world, nothing we are doing really. We cannot perform, this mind cannot work, this senses cannot work, my karmendriyas can't work, and nothing can work without the supreme conscious shining. Nothing exists without, everything exists in that supreme consciousness, and hence action is happening. But when we associate it with ourselves, then it just becomes a punya. It becomes an accumulation. The I has not dissolved. And hence, for a while, you will feel like you're in a good place. But Raghuramji uses this very good word. So what is wrong? If I have punya, I will be reborn again, according to the theory of karma. Okay, I have some punya, I go, I expel it a little, like I have to come back to earth to again live that punya. But everything comes with a package. So you don't come only with that punya. There'll be something that you don't want also that comes along with that. It is a package, because this world is duality. It has duality in it. So it is not like, so, okay, I will be born in a good place. So what? So if you look at very rich people, don't they have any difficulties at all? Is there no suffering at all? Is money the only thing? Or is there somebody who is very poor and there is no happiness at all in their lives? Or is somebody put in a very difficult situation, but there is some good thing happening, but somebody has been put in a very good situation, but still there is something that keeps bothering them. And people, people will say, what, he has everything, but then still he is crying. That is the package that we come with. Because all of this punya and papa, the pain and pleasure, in the punya, I seek pleasure. Somehow, I am thinking I am doing some punya karya, and hence I find it pleasurable. So where is this feeling of pleasure? It is in the lower self. It is in that sense of that lower I, and hence it will not. When that I is playing, there is actually no, the only way to be completely out of all of this is to be completely equanimous to punya or papa. What is right? What is wrong? Who is right? Who is wrong? What is happening is the world. Is it right? Is it wrong? Getting disturbed by things that are happening, by being judging everything. All of these are part of the duality. To go beyond the duality is the only way. I am a mumukshu. I want to be cured of this avidya. This avidya that I even exist as a separate entity from you. What is the root cause of the avidya? It is that I exist separate from you. Can a wave exist separate from the ocean? Is the wave separate from the ocean at all? It can't be. A wave is, can we say wave is a part of the ocean? No, wave is the ocean. The ocean and the wave are the same. Only the form, it seems to rise and fall something, but that is what makes the ocean. The ocean, the wave, and all the waves together is all the same, part of one ocean. Similarly, we are all part of one consciousness. I am this consciousness. Every consciousness is a part of that big ocean of that consciousness, borrowed. I don't even say, we can't even say borrowed. It is all just one consciousness. Like all the waves are the ocean. It's all just one consciousness. If I can just be and I can be aware. So I surrender myself to that infinite power, truth, light, that is you. Otherwise, because this sense of I and mine is clouding. That I surrender.
See,
When
this
I say I have to think, I have to do, I have to act, then the I is there. If I just go back and just be, whatever happens, very scary sometimes to just let go and say whatever happens, let it happen according to. We think somewhere I have to do, especially in the case of children or something. How can I not do when they are doing? They are being led by him. If we surrender, they will go ahead. Life will take them. It is like what Bala said, of course, it is yuktahara, observance and doing what is needed, giving love, coming from the space of love. When I can just be, we come from the space of love and not from the space of I. Then the interactions take a very different pedestal, totally.
Yeah. This interaction, no, very beautifully, Nuchu Swami says, as long as this I and mine is there, we all are in that only. As long as it is there, mind is operating. That is why Ramana Bhagavan says, thinking is not your nature. So, this mumukshutva comes when we are utterly bored of this play of this I and mind, the play of the mind. Say, enough. That is what here he says. I want moksha, different from this. I do not want to be thrown back. Like what Aarti beautifully said, punya is time stipulated and comes with a package. And say I have done the punya and I come here, I am born in a, say, wealthy family, whatever knowledge, all those that the punya reaps. But every act I do based on me and mine is going to be papakarya only. So I have come to redeem the punya and in the process I add more papa. Okay, so this is a very, very vicious cycle. Okay, and we cannot do anything about it. All that we can do is know it is a vicious cycle and know that I am suffering in that. That is very important. Otherwise, that mumukshutva and all will not come. So, Nuchu Swami always says, spirituality is not an entertainment. It can be, sometimes it can give a beautiful emotional bhava. Oh, it is not for that. Okay, sometimes it can be a wonderful, exercise, intellectual. My intellect will be fed. I would love to do that. Or sometimes, we will have such sattvika discussions. These all are part of it. It has its own importance. But the purpose is not that. The purpose is to know that this is shoka. This is suffering. As long as I am telling, oh, the world is good, then that mumukshutva has not come in me. That's it. It is not pessimism. It is not negativity. It is the blatant truth. Only when we realize that it is not at all pessimism. It doesn't get into depression. All that doesn't come. It is because we are holding on like Arjuna. Arjuna goes through so much of, anxiety, but he is guided beautifully because he has surrendered. He says, Shishyasteham, Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. I am your Sishya and I surrender to you. Yes, we must know that, oh, I don't want this. I want to get out. Yeah, but I don't know how to get out. Because we are in this, it is not possible. It is possible only by the higher power to pull us out. For that, like in that picture, we need to leave our hand and hold. Only then that is true mumukshutva. Otherwise, that has to come in us. Punya, okay, papa, okay. But the problem there is I and mine. There is a beauty. I am sure many of you might have watched already Vinay Varanasi's Gopika, what is that? Rasakrida. It is a one. If you have not watched, you must watch.
With Ranveer show, no?
No, he is given in Radhashtami in
Okay.
Malleshwaram a talk on Rasa Krida. It is fantastic. You know, it is beyond. So there are a lot of things he addresses. In that, he talks about this Punya Papa also. You know, he say that that's also a nice thing. There are many, many aspects to it. One aspect that he highlighted there was, so mumukshutva comes when someone wants to get out of this Punya and Papa cycle. Okay. So Punya is exhausted. Okay. In the theory of karma, in the karma, law of karma, Punya gets exhausted with pleasurable things. Okay. Papa gets exhausted by giving us painful things. That's all. Okay. So Punya, if I've come with so much of Punya, so I get a very comfortable, you know, maybe living. We all have done a lot of Punya. That's why, you know, we are able to sit like this and talk. So those are the Punya karmas which are getting redeemed. And Papa is,
The suffering.
again, you know, suffering, pain. Okay, pain is the word. So suffering. So then what happens is mumukshutva dawns only when someone, the Papa and Punya is done. The moment, so it is also very beautiful because the moment here also is said, no, moment true mumukshutva is there, moksha is right there. There is no, it's like switching on the light. That's it. Okay. Get out, surrender. It is sadhyo. Bhagavatam says sadhyo mukti, right now. So it is about that deep longing. So Gopikas, when he was talking, he says, you know, they all are actually great yogis, right? There is a lot of story, backstory behind who all came as Gopikas. So Shukamani says about in Bhagavatam that, you know, they are great yogis in Ramavatara. Even before that, there are a lot of things. So, great yogis who have come as Gopikas, but who are in that Madhura Bhava with Krishna. So, Krishna uses that, yes, to, they have done a lot of punya. But their eye and mind can be taken only by Bhagavan. Okay, as a sadhaka, we all try. We also need to do our part, but we is always there. As long as I'm thinking I'm a sadhaka, I'm doing sadhana, I'm there. But only when the surrender happens, he takes it. So Krishna, there are many stages. I'll just tell it in this Punya Papa. It is beautifully, he, Varanasi, Vinay Varanasi said that, you know, so much of Punya for the Gopikas. So he has to bestow so much of pleasurable, you know, pleasure for them, for the punya to redeem, so that moksha can be given. So that Rasa Krida was done, that entire Rasa Keli, where, you know, the Gopikas, they forget everything, you know, it was completely Krishna, right? That kind of, and then only, you know, moksha was possible also for them. So it is a very subtle thing. So punya, papa is all there as long as I and mind is individual. Ahankara, not even at the, you know, ego, whatever we are talking about, even that sense of I, you know, as long as that is there, and that can be taken only by Bhagavan. So what is it that I do? Hold on to him, and whatever I am holding on unnecessarily, leave. That is what is holding on to him. Leave whatever I'm holding on to and wait. I think even last week we saw that patience, just wait. You know, then that whole thing he is doing, he's the, you know, by his will, everything is happening. Whatever punya, papa, whatever account has to be settled, he will do. You know, that's it. Then that's what here said. Yogis see you in their hearts. Their karmas and the results of their karmas have all been burnt in the flame of self-knowledge. So many times we think karma means action. Here it's not just the action. Outer action is jada, says Ramana Bhagavan. It has got nothing to do. It will happen. But this I and mine is not there for them. They have burnt that in the self-knowledge. The jnana, ultimate jnana, is Bhagwan himself, right? So that is what Gajendra is seeking. No more cycle of punya. We saw even Vritrasura, right? He says, I don't want kingdom. I don't. So I would like to read that. It is a beautiful, says, right? Nanaka prishtam nacha parameshtyam. I don't want anything, Nasarva Bhaumam. If you are going to make me the emperor of this all three worlds, I don't want, says Vritrasura. Then see how much he has, because being an emperor of three worlds, na rasadhipatyam. Oh, nothing. He says, none of the pleasures that I seek. That is mumukshutva. No pleasure seeking. Not even peace of mind. Nothing beyond everything. Yeah? Na yoga siddhi. So he says, I don't want any siddhi also. Yes. Punarbhavam. Punarbhava. No happening again and again and again and again. Enough of this. Take me out. Then there is Sadhya Mukti. There is Bhagavatam. Immediate.
Very beautiful. So this moksham, this mumukshutvam, it comes. The thing is, so I may say right now, I am not such a mumukshu. It is a trajectory. We are here, we're listening to this, and we know that mumukshutvam is the highest. I'm not here but what we are practicing is, as this punya papa, we become equanimous to punya papa. There was a good point that came up when Bala differentiated between pain and suffering. See, now there is pleasure and pain. That pain is there in my body. Say, there is a pain in my body. That is just a pain in the body. It becomes a suffering when I become emotionally attached to that. Then it becomes a suffering for me. There is a pain there is some kind of thought in my mind, but only when I attach a certain emotion to it, then it becomes a suffering for me. When there is agitation and all that. Otherwise, it is just there. The thought is there. The memory just came. It came and it went. The pain happened. The pain was there. In some time, it will anyway heal itself. The body will be healed. It is fine. I have not suffered because of that. It is only when I attach myself to that pain, it becomes a suffering. Oh, what will happen? Will it become more? Will it become like this? What if it becomes into an infection? All of this is that overthinking. So that is where it becomes. So if I can, equanimity, even before getting mumukshutvam will come as I learn to become equanimous to pain and pleasure. As I become equanimous to both pain and pleasure, I am dealing with punya and papa dispassionately. I am dealing with, there is a dispassionate is lack of attachment. It's not bothering me. I'm not even judging this as a good situation or a bad situation. Like we said, if I have collected punya in the next janma, I will have a nice house, but there will be some pain points also. It comes as a package, the punya and package. So now if I learn to be equanimous to both hot and cold, day and night, to all the situations, because that is the part of the world, that is the nature of the world. It is like that ECG which goes up and down. If it is not there, it is. So the nature of the life and nature of the world is to go up and down. It will be there. I can't expect everything, but somewhere in our mind we want only the highs. We don't want the lows. We try to run away. Don't want that to happen. But if I can become, or we start craving for the highs. If both of these they are happening in the life, but I can become equanimous to both of this, and I can lead my life equanimously, not going behind what I like, what I dislike. This is not even judging anything. This is not pulling me. I don't think this is my swadharma. I don't think I like this. No need. If it is a need to be done at that point in time, I just have to do it. If there is a need for it, I perform it. If somebody else is doing it, let them do it. If I have to do it, if it has to be done, it has to be done by somebody or by me. Or it is like that. So I am very equanimous there. There is no question of choice. There is no question of like or dislike. There is an absolute equanimity. When that happens, naturally, the fruit will start falling. Naturally, the desire will come that now I'm done here. That's it. We don't even have to, it's not a force. It's not a sense of, oh, I desire mumukshutvam, I desire. Even in that, there is an I. If I can just practice that equanimity to everything that is happening, then that I will progress towards the mumukshutvam naturally, and like a fruit, it will fall. It's just that I have to know that that is the final. The reason every chapter is talking about this mumukshutvam and that's last stage is because we need to know that we have not where we have to arrive, where we need to go, that we still have to keep going, we still have to keep walking. Otherwise, we may think we have reached sometimes, right? It can be misleading. So we just keep walking, we can keep walking, and then it falls off. Automatically, it will fall off. That's when the fruit is ripe, nobody has to pluck it. The gravity pulls it down naturally like that. He will pull us to. I just have to practice that equanimity. Walking every step absolutely equanimously. Conducting myself in the world, acting in the world, but with absolute where the I is not playing. I'm not exercising. See that this is another beautiful thing. As at the which Raghuramji has told. As the consciousness, I have the power of choice. Do I want to go this way? Do I not want to go this way? But what is even higher than that is to not have a choice. I don't even choose. Initially, we may have to. This is step by step. Step by step. Initially, there is that power. In that freedom, there is a power of choice. So I don't feel like a slave. I don't feel like, oh, what to do? This situation is like this, so I have to be like that. At that point in time, I understand that I have a choice in every situation, whether to be there or whether not to be there. And once that is a progression. And to progress further than that is to say, I don't even want to choose. What is necessary, what is to be done, whatever it is, I will just surrender and do it. Go beyond even choice.
That's a very powerful statement of Bhagavan, right? He says, Unnishtam, Innishtam. Your wish is my wish. That's all. There's no separate wish. That comes with complete surrender. It is very difficult. But yes, that is what is the ultimate surrender. A very beautiful, whatever, about conducting ourselves in an equanimity. What Aarti said, I got a beautiful message which I would like to read. It is by Sri Paramahamsa Yogananda. Fantastic it is, huh? This world is a theater, and the creation, the actors. We have heard this many times, right? Each having a distinct role to play. We will be seen on this stage of life again and again until we become such good actors that we can play our part perfectly. What is perfection? As per the will of the divine. That is perfection. It's not what my mind says. So it's very beautiful. This we will be seen on this stage of life again and again. Yeah. So this is what is the coming back again and again until we become such good actors that we can play our part perfectly as per the will of the divine. This is surrender, isn't it? Then the director of the play, God, says, you need not go out anymore, as you have done as per my will, says Bhagavan. You have played your part and acted so well. You did not lose nerve, and now you have come back to me to be a pillar of immortality in the temple of my eternal existence as consciousness. I repeat this, this is very beautiful. You have come back to me to be a pillar of immortality in the temple of my eternal existence as consciousness. This is Paramahamsa Yogananda's words are very powerful. Every word if we read. It's fantastic, profound statement. So that's all it is. This is what is given, this body, mind, whatever it has to do, it will do. So Bhagavan also says in Bhagavad Gita, right? He says, whether you want or not, it will do. This is Svabhava. So we can't do anything about it. I may not even understand. This Ahankara will not know what is the Svabhava of this body, mind, intellect. So surrender. What happens is happening. Then that is the way to get that moksha. Mokshatva dawns. It is not something we strive.
So you know that story? Was it Dattatreya? Or who was it? He was sitting, somebody comes to visit him, and he was sitting, when he was sitting, he had all these cups of wine and all that with him, and he had these women around him, but this person recognized him still, that you're actually a wise person, you're just putting up there. I don't know who it is. I'm not remembering. If anybody knows that, please let us know. He was a very, very, very wise person. Based on his actions, he couldn't be judged. To him, first vision from the outside was to see him with a wine glass and lot of women around. But he said, you are just putting up an act here. Within you are very exalted. So,
it's just that the connect of me and mine is not there.
Yeah.
That's all. The body is doing. That is why, they say this for a jnani, for such a jiva, I don't know, jnani, his own body, mind is like, some tree that I see. It's the same for them. There is no difference. For me, it is not, right? For me, this is my body. Very much. And that is a tree. That is another still. But for a jnani, it's all the same. That's what they say. So then it is all happening. In that it is happening, in that it is happening. He is in that, truth, existence. Like what beautifully he said, the pillar of existence, eternal existence as consciousness. The eternal existence as consciousness. Fantastic.
So the
please
Deva,
continue.
shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
The Devas and Brahma and all the others were listening to the words of the elephant. The praise was for the Purusha, and each one of them knew that he was not fit for the words of praise which were used by the animal. Narayana was touched by so the praise was for the Purusha. So none of the Devas and the Brahma were all listening to this, but they knew that all that praise was not for themselves. Right? Everybody knows their own limitations, they say, right? Like that. So the praise was for the Purusha, and each one of them knew that he was not fit for the words of praise which were used by the animal. Narayana was touched by the plight of the elephant, and assuming the form of Hari, appeared before him on the shores of the lake. Garuda was carrying him. In his hand glowed the chakra by name Sudarshana. Looking on him, the elephant raised his trunk, which held a lotus, and said, Lord Narayana, I salute you. Narayana was overcome with compassion for the poor elephant and his plight. He entered the lake, killed the crocodile with his Sudarshana, and pulled the elephant out of the lake. To the leg of the elephant was still clinging the dead form of the crocodile with its mouth gaping open. All the denizens of the heavens were watching in awe. They stood around the Lord, and the elephant, exhausted by the fight which had lasted all these years, was standing with its trunk still raised aloft. With infinite love, the Lord accepted the lotus which was held in the trunk, and the elephant was happy.
This is exactly the same, no? The moment that let go happened, moment that surrender happened in Gajendra, Lord is there. And many Bhagavatas, they say the crocodile was also some, I don't know, some other heavenly being. And crocodile is redeemed first. So it is like they say, no, Bhrithya, Bhrithya, Bhrithya. If we don't have to hold, if we are not, able to hold the feet of the Lord, hold the feet of the Bhagavata. So he gets redeemed first. So it is the crocodile which was holding the feet of elephant. Elephant is the Bhagavata there. Right? So Bhagavata Seva is given a lot of importance in Srimad Bhagavatam everywhere. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam highlights it. Says, hold on to the feet. That's why even in Ramayana, Lakshmana serves Lord Rama. Yes, Bharata serves Lord Rama, but Shatrughna is the one who serves Bharata. So he is the Bhagavata, he is the Bhagavatottama, they say, the one who holds on to the feet of Bhagavata. Serving Bhagavata. The Bhagavata holds on to Bhagavan. So it is like, it's all connected. So even if we hold on to the feet of another Bhagavata, you are redeemed. That's one beautiful thing that in many saptahas they say. So the crocodile also, I don't remember, some, some being, some devata, I think, the crocodile. And he's redeemed first and then the elephant. Very beautiful. One more thing which came up here, the praise was for the Purusha, and each one of them knew that he was not fit. So this is very important. Many times, during Dukkha time, we remember the Lord. But when we are praised during name, fame, whatever, sometimes we forget that it is the Lord within, that ultimate doer is not me. Right? There, Brahma, Devas are Devas and Brahma because they are always established in truth. Yes, Brahma is the highest Bhagavata. He gets the Chatushloki from Narayana right in the beginning. And only after that he starts the creation. Narayana says, I am the Prerana, I am the inspiration for you. And you do the creation, you will not be tainted by Maya. So Brahma never forgets what is not being tainted by Maya, is not never to forget that it is the Lord, it is the Antaryaman sitting in the heart, in whose presence everything is happening. Yes, the doership is his Shakti. It has got nothing to do, there is no other separate doer. Yeah, that is not being in the clutches of Maya. And that is when we'll realize, when someone praises, it is the Lord Narayana sitting within, who deserves the praise. Now, this is also an example which is quoted, in dog shows. If you see, the dogs are given all the medals, everything. But actually, it goes to the trainer. Isn't it? It's not, the trainer has trained the dog to do so much. A dog, I do not take it as an offense. I'm not trying to support or doing anything here. But at the face of it, it looks like the dog is being appreciated. But if the trainer is not there, there is no training for the dog. There is no, so it is brought out by the trainer. So similarly, it is this power within, it is the Lord Narayana within, which is, if I start thinking that someone is praising me, someone is doing namaskara to me, it is pure ignorance. That is when we are in the clutches of Maya.
Beautiful. So, before that crocodile holding the, like, there was what came to my mind was beautifully what Bala told was, like the Bhagavata holding the feet of the Bhagavata as a divine being. That was beautiful. Something else that came to me is that final holding on to that world, the crocodile, okay? There is a grip, strong grip of samsara, of the world, onto that final little bit, which I cannot come out on my own. At that time, Gajendra, when he remembered Mahavishnu, Narayana came there and he cut that final connection that he had with the bird. And what is beautiful again at the end is, it says, too, the leg of the elephant was still clinging the dead form of the crocodile, with its mouth gaping open. So, it's not that the samsara is still not there. But now there is no effect. The world is dead. The world is not real. The world loses its reality completely to the one. Now, when the person is realized, now Gajendra becomes a jnani, see. When that, to a jnani, the world has completely lost any control over it. It's still there. It's not like you stop seeing things. But it doesn't pull you anymore. It doesn't have any effect on it.
Beautiful. They say, no, it's like that Pambu chatta, the thing of the snake. Just put. The Ahankara will function. But there is no, because those all are lower prakritis, it will happen. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. It's all there. The functioning of the jnani is happening. But it is like seeing the moon during daytime. They say it's a beautiful example given. Seeing the moon in the daytime. Yeah. The grip of the crocodile is not there anymore.
With its mouth gaping open. How beautifully that description is given. When its mouth is open, it is there, but it is still not. It cannot pull.
Yeah. No power.
No power to pull.
Fantastic.
So with infinite love, the Lord accepted the lotus, which was okay. All the denizens of the heavens were watching in awe. They stood around the Lord, and the elephant, exhausted by the fight which has lasted all these years, was standing with its trunk raised, still raised aloft. With that is, namaskara to the Lord. With infinite love, the Lord accepted the lotus which was held in the trunk, and the elephant was happy. Even in all that exhaustion, that reverence, that love towards the infinite was not lost. It was there, and very beautifully, with love, Lord accepts that love.
And Swami Tejomananji, very beautifully, he says, see, if someone helps in some time, from some difficulty for us, then the mind is filled with gratitude. Say we were very hungry and someone comes and gives us food. Okay, the mind is filled with gratitude for us, as long as our memory is alive, right? The gratitude is there for us, because from that the pain, someone took us away. So the gratitude towards that who gave us is there. Then imagine the Lord takes us from this pain of this ahankara, I and mine. Then it is only pure love and gratitude, nothing else. It just cannot, right? It is nothing else actually can be offered.
I had one question, Bala. That
Please.
I mean, in Gajendra Moksha, they say that the crocodile held on to the leg of the elephant for thousands of years, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes,
So,
yes, Sanpunaji, they say that somewhere it comes.
so how do we explain this time?
This
You know,
time,
yeah, the time of this 1,000 years.
yeah, we shouldn't look at only Gajendra as in that body.
Hmm.
If you look,
One small little thing is not to think too much logically.
Hmm.
It is to indicate that it was for a long time. Mostly children will be happy with such answers. You know, that's the idea also. It is to indicate that it is for a very long time. The example, the symbolism that Aarti beautifully brought out is if it is the grip of that samsara, you know, then we are there. Janma, 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 janma,
Yes,
janma.
that's what.
So that will, you know, so we can just say it is all, you know, even the Purusha Shuktam, if it is Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, it does not mean exactly 1,000. Okay, the numbers, it is to say that, you know, everywhere it is his head or, you know, innumerable heads. So so these Puranas, it's not, you know, it is a lot of things are figuratively given for us, right? So it is just an indication it's for a very long time. The struggle took for a
But
very
it just kept me thinking that
long
probably you need to endure that.
time. Yeah.
Don't you? Don't you? I mean, I don't know. I feel that you need to be enduring that pain and be one with God at that, even at that point of time.
Yeah.
So it's just. I mean, I'm saying 1,000 years or whatever it is. See, we are very easily when we have the situation of pain. Uh, we want to quickly get out of it,
Hmm.
isn't it? So, see, like the happiness has a duration, even even the pain and the sadness in life has a time duration,
Yes.
Very true.
and it it kind of becomes like if you see a person who is hale and healthy fall sick, everybody is anxious in the beginning. But when you see the suffering continues for a long time, they empathize with him, and then the person also comes to acceptance of uh, the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another way of looking at it also, whatever you said is also be, yeah, endurance. Endurance can either shrink the pain or expand the pain for us if we don't endure. When we are in pain, like the crocodile was in severe pain, when we are in pain, even a short time can seem like 1,000 years. It can seem very long, like I'm suffering. Like you said very rightly, we want it to go off quickly, but it is not. It just, we are waiting for it to go. We are waiting for it to go, but then it seems like it's like 1,000 years. It's going on and on. I just have to endure it. And when I endure it, it may not seem like 1,000 years when my mind is fixed on the Lord. So yeah, it's a
See, that's exactly what happens with the if you just see the patients who are having the palliative treatment. It's on either side. The person who is suffering and the person who is taking care, both are preparing themselves to let go,
Hmm. Yeah.
isn't it? Even the person who is taking care wants the other person's pain to end, and the person who is suffering also wants the pain to end in certain way. And that's where you finally say that, okay, you have tried everything, and then you finally surrender, kind of thing. This is okay, whatever will happen, will happen.
Yeah. As long as we are holding on to the control, the 1,000 years keeps continuing.
Yeah, I mean that is the significance of the 1,000 years.
Yep.
So
This is the
you
beauty of
must have
Puranas,
the
There are layers and layers to it. It's a beauty for each one of us.
How it speaks so beautifully.
It can, it speaks. Bhagavatam speaks to each one of us wherever we are. And maybe after a few years, the same time will be different for us. This is the beauty of Purana. It is very
the
important
same
for us
pain,
to,
son, the same pain can also be endured in different forms. I mean, different ways and different degrees. That's what I
Hmm.
I I I get out of this Gajendra Moksha, is that you should be prepared to endure that pain, to let go. We are so scared of that pain. We are so
Yeah, it's our fear for the pain which makes it a suffering for us.
yeah.
See, it is the cheating of our own ego. Ego survives because I am in pain or in pleasure. Pain, pleasure are the survival points of our individual identity. I don't want to let that go. You know? So that's why he pushes, the Lord pushes us to extreme where now, like Gajendra completely say, it's too much pain. In that extreme thing, the pain, when someone, that's what they say, no? The endurance also reaches its upper limit. Okay. And then the entire attention is, that's what has happened. In Gajendra, it is like, complete attention only on the Lord. Even in his stuti, there is nowhere where he is asking, redeem me from this pain. Okay, he is one with the Lord already. The surrender and he's purifying from So, the turning has happened. And so it is. So it depends, each of us, wherever we are, he knows how to pull us back.
Yeah.
So does it mean that, I mean, I have heard many people telling that whoever is God's favorite, they get lot of troubles. So, I mean, that's a starting point. And I mean, Bala, I just wanted to ask, I mean, what you meant is, so he tests our endurance and surrender. I mean, I mean, when he's giving lot of pain or trouble continuously, it's just that he's teaching us to be less egoistic or total surrender. Is it that? I mean, he stretches us to that point.
Yeah, true. However, yes, definitely. Kunti Stuti and all also is the same, no?
So when things are not happening, also it's for our longer good or like
Shreyas.
Things are
Definitely.
not happening, meaning
According to my will.
according to my expectation.
Apparent will. Yeah.
I mean, I think that okay, I have endured enough and it should end. It should end. But what actually Lord decides for us is the best.
Yeah. Many times we think we get into that illusion also. You're very right. But Bhagavan says, no, you're not ready yet. You have more preparation. We want that again, this individual, is desiring for something. That is why they say in Tamil, Ashai Arumin, Ishanod irukkum Ashayum Arumin. Cut all the desires, cut them asunder. Even, seeking God, even that desire needs to go. Only then. So that is also a desire. These all are at but different stages. Okay, we cannot right in the beginning when we are doing sadhana, I cannot say I don't want that. That is the driving force for us, So that's why in Yoga Vashitam also it is said that the desires also become Shubha desires, make it more auspicious.
Larger cause or
Yeah, make it more auspicious. I want Bhagavan as a desire. But that is an auspicious desire that is needed for us to hold on to him. Otherwise, it is difficult. But there will be a stage where even that like that ripening that beautifully Aarti brought out. That when that comes in, even that everything is surrender, it is happening by His will. So they have already arrived. Only those can say that. That's
Mm.
all. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thank you. Today's session was very powerful. I got much clarity. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.